Hello Wineabbers, my name is Jesse Meekum from You Need a Budget. Yes, you do. And this is a Whiteboard Wednesday. For those of you that are new, when we're in a hurry, we don't say you need a budget, although you do. We say Winab. We just cut it off, make it short. Rigidity is stupidity. I don't mean that in a mean way, but it is a little bit insane in thinking about Rule 3, where we roll with the punches. It's a little bit insane to think that you fairly arbitrarily decided I'm going to spend X in category Y, and then you get new information and you just dig in and say, no, I said I would spend X and in category Y, and now we have new information, and that information is whatever it is, but I'm just not going to do it. Rigidity is stupidity. I liked that because it rhymed, and so I wrote it down. I killed most of my trees. If you listen to the podcast, you know that I overpruned, and by overpruned, like really, really overpruned them and killed them. So they're fruit trees, and there were 9 of them that I'd planted 3 years ago, and I killed 8 of them. And so I spent the spring digging out these 3-year-old trees and planting new trees. And I'm actually quite good at 1, removing trees now, and 2, planting new trees. Ask me about pruning though, and I will tell you to find an expert. This is an example of a new tree. My trees actually look more like this. I just buy little wisps, and they're like branches sticking up out of the ground. And you plant that little stick, and they tell you you can brace it for wind, and we get wind in our area, and it comes from the north and blows to the south, and it pushes on things all the time, especially in the evenings. And they tell you when you're planting a new tree, and don't worry, I'm going to get somewhere with this. When you're planting a new tree, they say you can stake the tree, but staking the tree may actually, in the long run, hurt the tree. Why? The movement of the tree, the pressure, every afternoon around 4 o'clock when the wind starts, that pressure encourages the tree to send out stronger roots. If the tree doesn't have to fight against the wind, then it ends up being lazy on the rooting. And it kind of just thinks, oh, I'm good. I've got this stake here, these 2 stakes, the ropes, everything's tied down. I'm good. I don't have to try very hard. There are all sorts of metaphors that we could do with that, maybe like with parenting or exercise or whatever, number of things. But in my instance, with my actual trees that I actually killed and these new trees that I actually planted, I didn't stake them because I know that the wind will just kind of work on them and inspire them, incite them to send out better roots. And those roots are what help the tree last, right? That's what gives it its longevity. Without a strong root system, it can't ever actually thrive. And that's where we get back to budgeting. With the rigidity of a budget where you're just saying, no, I'm going to stake myself into the ground. I'm not going to move. I submit that that is not a method in which you can thrive. And I would say that the longer term solution, really putting down your budgeting roots, that would require that you have to move a little bit, that you have to have life kind of just push on you some, and you adapt and adjust, and it makes you stronger. It makes you a better budgeter, because you're having to go back to Rule 1 and say, oh, given this new information, what do I have to do? Finally, just in a tactical, like hands-on example, a sale happens, right? Maybe you're thinking in 3 months, I'm going to buy this new thing. What if it was an Apple Watch, for instance? So you say, I'm going to buy that, I'm going to save up for it. And you're halfway toward, let's say it costs $300. I don't even know what they cost, but they cost $300, and you have $200. And then they end up pushing a sale out, right? And you weren't going to be able to buy it until next month when you saved out of the $100. But they have a sale where they're for $250. You have $200 saved. The watch is for $250. They never will do this sale again, perhaps. And then you have the opportunity. You could say, well, will I overspend in my gadgetry category and end up saving $50? Or will I wait a month, because a month is just an arbitrary tranche of time? Will I wait that month and save the $100 and then end up paying full price? That's one example, completely contrived to make my point, but it holds. When you see opportunities, a lot of times you can adjust your budget and move things around and seize that opportunity. There's a high cost in a rigid budget in that way. So what we really want to focus on is the question, if that sale happens, if you were to go back in time and sit back down at your budget meeting and your future self walked in and you're sitting there budgeting and said, hey, we're going to budget $100 into the gadgetry category. A month from now, I'm going to be able to get my Apple Watch. If you were to say that, but then future self walks in and says, hey, Jesse, hold the phones. They're going to be on sale in 2 weeks for $250. So I would say, oh, so you're saying I need to save $150 this month so I have enough. Gosh, where will that other $50 come from? Oh, it can come from here, 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 and here. I'll take $12.50 from each of these other 4 categories, get my $50, and I'm good. Okay? That would have happened had I been presented with the information at the time I made my first decision. And what I'm saying is, it's okay if it still happens later. You're just bending. As the wind blows, as new information comes your way, you just adjust. That's rule 3. I know we've been hitting that a lot, but I feel like that's an important distinction and something that if you really can master the fact that you are constantly having to make adjustments given new information, if you can just wrap your head around that, then you're going to be thriving. You will have put down massively strong budgeting roots. Nothing will knock you off track. You will never throw in the towel. You'll know how to roll with those punches with the best of them. And yeah, you're going to rock it. I'll see you guys next week.